All right, and we're back.
That dude just about hit your car, by the way.
Oh, what the fuck?
I mean, he was like he was probably a solid foot away from it.
Jesus Christ. Here in Kansas, it's fucking snowy and icy and shit, which I'm kind of glad for. I'm ready. Like,
no, but he wasn't even like sliding.
oh, he's just a shitty driver.
He backed out and he was just kind of pulling up and he was just really close to your car. He wasn't even sliding.
What an ass bag.
Right.
I didn't see that at all.
No.
Yeah, I'm happy for that. Like,
the ice?
yeah.
Why?
Well, snow at least.
Okay. Why?
Dude, we haven't had snow in like years.
I know.
Like real snow. And to be honest, I think this is done and it's not even that bad.
Right.
I don't know. Have you heard about more snow coming?
I think we're maybe getting some more tomorrow. Maybe. That's still iffy, though.
That'd be alright, though. I mean, I don't know. I think, what was it, last week? Like, it makes me nervous to be, like warm in January.
Right.
You know, I come from, as a kid, I remember, like, about November, you had that giant fucking coat that you couldn't move very much.
Right,
You
yeah.
had, like, that fucking retard from, The Christmas Story.
Yeah.
You all bundled up and shit. And, like, now, we're running around, like, in shorts.
Yeah.
And, like, we're in the fucking middle America.
Yep.
You know?
But don't worry about global warming.
Nah.
The Earth is not getting hotter.
It's not happening. We're not gonna...
Jesus Christ.
No, we were talking off air about, it was cute, honestly, I thought, of Christine to go, well, why would we run out of water?
I know.
There's oceans all around us.
Right. Like, you obviously...
You don't realize you can't drink that. Oh, we have filters. Do you know how much water we go through? I mean,
how hard that filter's gonna have to work if you take ocean water and put it right in, like, your sink?
Yeah.
It's gonna have to work hard.
No.
You're gonna spend more money on...
I don't think a Brita can handle that.
No.
I mean...
all the salt and...
It would just be clumped up. Like, you get a glass of water and it'd be just like this much, like just
Right.
like maybe a couple inches.
Right.
And your filter's just like all crystallized.
Yeah. It's got some plastic in there.
Yeah. It's all fucked up. Well, and you probably catch some Oxycontin and stuff in there as well.
Yeah. In the ocean, though?
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I've heard about the drinking. I haven't drank drinking water, like tap water, in so long.
I only do if it's through a filter.
Yeah, and I have one, and I still don't.
Really?
No. I'm like, here's the thing, though. I find it easier to just have a bottle of water.
Yeah, me too.
Cups and stuff like that are... Although you hear plastic is bad for you.
Yeah. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
Die.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's our option anymore.
I mean,
die.
anything we do is bad for us. Talking on the phone is bad for you.
I saw it, like, we were kind of playing a game, and we can do that now. Cigarettes back in like the 50s and 60s. I saw like this whole advertisement about how like they're healthy for you, and blah blah blah. Like, and now we know, like, holy shit, like
Right.
that's one of the worst things you can do for you. What do you think is gonna be that thing now? Like, what do you think is gonna come out? And then, like, 20 years from now, we're gonna be like, "Holy fuck! Why were we even using?" Like,
Well, I'm hoping not vaping.
yeah, I'm really hoping that's
Right.
one.
I mean, cell phones have kind of come out. The Marmalade, was it? Marmalade's bad for you.
What?
Yeah.
Marmalade?
Yeah.
What?
I heard like a few years ago that marmalade's really bad for you.
You mean like jam marmalade?
Yeah.
How's it bad?
I don't know. That's what I think it's marmalade I'm thinking of. Maybe it started with an M. I'm pretty sure it's marmalade. Maybe not. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
But like, what do you think is going to be that thing that, like, my kid's going to be like, why the fuck were you guys using that so much, or eating that, or...
Whey protein.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I mean, people use it a ton.
Shot in the dark, or...
I mean, if for the same reason, well, I don't know, maybe, because like cigarettes, and it's hard to argue it though, because now we're like, well, yeah, we know all the stuff that's in there. Of course, it's bad for you, but at the time,
we
didn't
study like everything,
right,
intensively,
and that's why I'm kind of not so worried about vaping. No, I like part of me does kind of worry about vaping just because you're putting something into your lungs. It has room, but on the fact that we do just study stuff so much, and we have more technology than we did back when cigarettes first came around.
Yeah.
Like, we pretty much know everything that goes into it.
Also, the transparency.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I think they knew back in the 60s that cigarette was bad for you.
Yeah.
But they would just advertise that it's healthy for you to sell them.
Right.
They couldn't get away with that now.
No. Well, and they've done studies on all of the ingredients that go into vaping. They're FDA approved to be in your food, but they've also done studies under combustion, and even then they're fine. So,
yeah.
I mean...
On that note, though, what are they saying about the cell phones and stuff? Is it just radiation?
Yeah, it's just the radiation being so close to your brain.
Oh, so, like, if you use a tablet a lot, or if you type, you're fine.
Well, no, I mean,
Maybe
you're
not
still getting radiation in your hands, but it is especially just like talking on the phone.
Yeah,
It's,
which we don't
but,
do
it's
that
same
often.
Thing, it's the same thing as a microwave.
True.
Microwave puts off more radiation than a phone.
And they say they'll stand back from the microwave.
Yeah, which how many of us do that?
I do.
Oh, depends what I'm doing. Like, if I'm heating something up, I usually do, because I'm also getting other stuff
ready. Yeah,
so
that's
I
my
guess,
thing, like you're doing something else. That's like, how often do you really talk on the phone?
Right, as much as I can avoid.
Right, yeah. If I can get off of the phone, I will.
I think you're probably the only person I consistently talk to on the phone, and even we don't talk on the phone that much.
Like, we'll talk like maybe like a couple minutes, like I have something to say and I'm driving,
right?
Or something like that, and then I'll just call. But yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it is kind of hard. It would be easier back then, which is such a stupid statement because it's like, well, it would have been easier to detect tobacco. Well, we know now what we know now type deal.
Yeah.
But we just do study so much stuff.
We do.
And
which is good.
But that's also part of the reason that like these new pills and stuff that come out on the market, that's why they're gone so fast. First of all, because they don't work. Second of all, because people study them so much. When you rush them out there, somebody gets a hold of it and they study it. They're like, no, this is either bad for you or it doesn't work.
Which is funny though, because like a lot of, we're getting real political today, I guess, but a lot of the right wingers, they think that we need to have less, like BPA's,
right?
Study testing and less, because that hinders business and blah blah blah. Well, yeah, because they're selling you poison.
Right.
They're killing our...
Which, by the way...
we're fine with that. But they take their other health care away, too. So when they get cancer, you can't treat it,
and
they
it's
die.
funny, because, people get so uptight about weed being legalized. Have you seen some of the medication people are on? They have a medication for Cymbalta. It helps depression, but some of the side effects are increased depression and thoughts of suicide.
And thoughts of suicide, yeah.
Like, wait, so this pill's either going to kind of help me deal with my depression... or it's really just going to make me off myself.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Either way, it's going to fix the problem.
There's a new one that just came out. I can't remember what it's called. I don't even remember what it's for. I think it's a GI thing. About how it's supposed to help something in your bowels, right?
Yeah.
It had like 6 side effects. Where like one of a yeast infection, your bones deteriorating.
Yeah.
Are you freaking serious? Or no, not deteriorating. You're more susceptible to bone breaks, is what it said. Are you serious? You know what? I think I'll take my stomach pain.
Oh, and another
I think
side
I'll take
effect,
not shitting
stomach
for a week.
bleeding.
Right, I think I'll take not shitting for a week over my fucking leg being broken just by getting out of bed.
Yeah,
I'm good.
There's so many of them too you listen to.
But they're completely against weed.
And it's like, could cause, cardiovascular problems, could cause liver problems or kidney problems. It's like,
yeah.
Wait, what is this for? High blood pressure.
Right.
You know what? I'll be okay.
Right. Oh, well, okay, I'll just eat a little better then.
Yeah, I'll just cut the salt out of my diet.
And, see, that's the problem, though. I don't think people realize that, man, if they just ate better, you know how many doctors would be struggling for business? If you just exercised and ate better, I'm telling you. Like, there's a doctor that I'm good friends with, and he's a very successful one. He said, if you just ate better... That's one of his things. He was like, the thing that's going to ruin doctors is if people just wise up. Hey, eat better. Exercise.
Yeah.
That'll put doctors not out of business, but,
Well, and also people go to doctors for, bullshit reasons.
Right, yeah.
Like, I hate to be... Like, if you break a toe, you don't need to go to the doctor.
Really?
No.
Why?
There's nothing they can do about it.
They can set it.
No. They can't, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All they'll do is they'll wrap it in a cast.
What does that do?
Just protects it while it's healing. Like, you literally could just wrap it yourself and you're fine.
Really?
Dude, when I played football, that was a pretty common injury was a broken toe.
Yeah.
Just wrap it and get back out there and play. You never go to the doctor for that.
Well, yeah, but what happens if the bone's sticking out?
Well, then you're fucked. But I mean, listen, you can tell. Common sense says, like, I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And then some people are just like, well, I don't know. I've got pain. My back hurts. I think I need to go see.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people that just go to the doctor, I think, just for someone to complain to.
Yeah.
Or to get drugs.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, you don't need to go to the doctor.
My dad, he was a firefighter for like 32 years. There's this one patient that
by the way, just one thing I want to say. And I'm catching myself before I go any, like, I did just say you don't really need to go to the doctor, but you know what? If you find a lump on you or something like that, go to the doctor.
Right, yeah. There's a patient that he'd always call, and he'd be code blue, and so they'd rush over. And for those of you who don't know, code blue is you're having trouble breathing, and they'd rush over there. You know, you're all right. We'll take you to the hospital. Oh, cool. So he just hops up, starts putting his shoes on and everything, just getting ready. Start to load him up. And there's nothing wrong with it. He would call almost once a week.
And see,
just for the drugs.
That's the guy. That's the kind of person that fucks us over.
Right.
'Cause even if he has insurance, it's still costing so much money.
Right.
The people that go to the emergency room, they really fuck us over. And if they don't have insurance, it really, really fucks you over. Even with Obamacare, it helps.
Yeah.
Because at least someone's paying
Right.
that bill. But yeah, like I don't know. We were just actually watching something on the news where the GOP leader says they will repeal Obamacare late February,
but they don't want to do it all at once.
You know, and to us, not a big problem. We're not part, you know.
Right.
But like my parents are on Obamacare though. That fucks them.
Yeah.
Like my mom literally might have to come out of retirement.
Yeah.
Due to that, like they both worked all their lives. They're in their late 60s. They should be able to retire.
Right.
But healthcare is going to make them go back. You know, like I don't know. It makes me angry because I feel like we're in a society of like certain people are like, I got where I am, hard work, and this is where blah 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 blah. I want this and that, and everyone else should be able to do what I did. And most of the time, like you got lucky.
Well, and it's a different time because,
You know,
like my dad, he got where he is now, working hard, and I get that. He had 2 jobs because he wanted extra money. He could have gotten by on one job, just working hard at that one job. You can't do that nowadays.
No,
you can't get by on one job.
The middle, you cannot be
unless you know somebody or you find a really good job.
Unless you're in Germany.
Yeah.
The middle class doesn't exist.
Like my cousin, he's got one job, but you know what he does? He works for NASCAR.
Yeah.
He travels wherever they go. He makes good money.
I would think so, yeah.
But he knew somebody to get in.
Right. Well, and
not everybody has that. And I'm not talking shit on him, but I love my cousin to death. But he knew someone. Like, he wouldn't have that job.
Your dad, though, too, government money.
Right, yeah. That's a socialist program. He's a firefighter.
But he's against socialism. Like,
right, yeah.
I don't understand that thinking of, like, voting against what helps you.
Well, voting what made him who he is today.
Yeah.
He's so proud of being a fireman, but
no one else should get raises. No one else should get money.
Right, yeah.
It was cool when I did.
Right.
Fuck anyone else that, you know, like, we went back and forth on the whole, like, minimum wage thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That was a different time, though.
Well, it was, like, less than a year ago.
No, it was more than that.
I feel like it was less than a year ago. Maybe. But, you might be right. That might have been.
It was a while. I'll explain why I know that later, but
that's one of those things too. That, like, when you break it down, the amount of money that we could be making, like working at Walmart or whatever, is insane. If you just raised like the average customer like 12 cents.
Yeah, which is like
nothing.
not even a bag of groceries.
That's not even like a can of
right
of green beans.
Right.
Yeah, like, but I don't want to do that.
Right.
Fuck that. I don't want to. You know, why? Why
Well,
is it so bad for people to have more money? We need more money.
Right. Well, and it's that whole 3% thing you were talking about. How nobody wants to do that. Like, okay, 3% is not that. I don't want to have to pay extra money. I don't ever want to pay extra money. I'm a Jew, but if it's really going to help that much, yeah, I'll pay the extra 3%.
If 3% gets free education,
yeah, I'll gladly do that.
No problem. And you know what? Either we got to raise taxes for stuff like you were saying, like education and strong, programs, and this is not attractive for a lot of people, but we got to cut military spending.
Right, yeah.
60% of our taxes go to military.
And why? What are we using it for?
Contracts.
Right.
Yeah, so certain people can get super rich.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, we don't need that big of a military.
No.
I wouldn't say get rid of anything, but I would stop stocking up.
And I would downsize a little.
Would you?
We are the biggest military in the world, and the one that comes below us, we're 26 times larger than number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
What's Russia? They've got to be number 2.
I think they're like number 3 or 4. China, one of those is up there.
My only hesitation is right now I am kind of worried with Trump getting in. Kind of worried about something starting.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, okay, think about it like a corridor, right? Like, you could have 1,000 men on one side, but if you can only shove so many guys in this pathway.
Right.
Like, if we have, I'm not even going to guess. Well, I'm not even going to say I'm accurate, but I know that we, on average, throw away 35 tanks a year just because we have too many of them. Like, we could cover many of our states in just tanks.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to use them all. Like, even if we go to, crazy head-on-head war, we still would...
And they're expensive.
Oh, they're super expensive. And they're not even close to, the carriers that we have. $35 billion for some of those things.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have 8.
Right.
Only one country in the world has any, and they have 1.
It's China, isn't it?
Yeah. We have 8.
Right.
We don't need,
why?
Or, let's stick with 8. Let's not go for a 9.
Right.
Let's not go for, that's all I'm saying. We could afford so much more if we just cut military spending.
Right.
And not on, the troops shit. In fact, we should probably spend more money on some, better equipment for them. But I mean, on the big things. Like the tanks that we just throw away. Whatever. But, yeah, we got to do one of the two. And we won't.
No.
We'll keep doing this. And we'll keep getting shittier and poorer.
And, by the way, now that Hillary is not going to be president, and weed will not be a thing as long as Trump is president.
I think we'll see
That was another thing that really could have helped us.
I think we'll see a decline in possible, a national legalization.
Yeah. And one of my, I'm not going to say a friend, an acquaintance of mine, I know the guy in a city about 15 minutes from here, he just got raided.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was he selling?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Weed.
Oh,
and
no.
Better yet, I don't know this guy on a personal level. Apparently, there's somewhere involved misconduct with a child. There was possession to sell, or intent to sell, possession, and I don't know if it was him or one of the guys that were with him at the time had coke with intent to sell.
No.
Yeah.
Ow.
So
you're fucked.
It hurts.
By the way, we were talking off air. You, me, and Christine were talking about porn, and you kind of brought up something that I'd been thinking about. Yes, it's weird how I'll only look up MILFs, or if I'm searching, I'll look up MILFs or well-known porn stars and shit like that, because I don't want there to be even an inkling that I could be looking up child porn, because as close as we are, you're one of my best friends.
Sure.
I feel like I know you pretty well and whatever, but if I didn't see you for a few days, And then, like, let's say Christine came in or something like that. Hey, did you see that thing on Twitter? No, I didn't. What? Cody got busted for child porn.
I don't
That's
watch
the
child
one.
porn,
That's
just
the
for
one
record.
thing. No, you don't. But that's the one thing people can like bring out, and you're like, ooh,
Right? Yeah.
did he? Like, I know you so well we're close, blah blah. But child porn, really? Like,
well, yeah.
I would have a hard time believing like you didn't. It's a weird like accusation that once it's thrown on, you're just like, I don't
Right?
know this
Yeah.
guy.
Like no. And to be fair, I really don't. I've met him like once.
I have a. Huh?
I said I've met him once.
Who?
This dude that got
Oh.
So when I was like, I don't really. There's a
right.
fair reason for that.
Well, no, I had a guy that lived with me, and he. Long story short, he left his phone laying around, and I was just gonna be an asshole, and I decided to go through his pictures, and it was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. I'll tell you why it's disturbing. For one, it wasn't like it was whack material. But it was whack material. It was like 5-year-old little girls in like bathing suits.
Oh.
And like ones he knew.
Oh.
And there was like so many of that kind of picture
Yikes.
throughout his entire phone. Like he was taking pictures of these little girls.
Oh wait, he was taking pictures of them?
They're girls he knew, little children. If he only had like a couple, I'd be like, all right. It was like 30 or 40 pictures in there.
Really? So
Yeah.
it wasn't even like a relative at that point. It was like, because like if there's a couple, maybe you could justify be like, okay, maybe this is like his niece or something.
Even that, I mean, more than.
I mean, I don't know what
more
they
than
look
a
like.
handful, you're like.
Right.
And if that's the only, like, I'm sure my.
Well, keep in mind a couple means two.
Shut up. Not getting into this rabbit hole. I'm sure, like, my sister has pictures of Jameson in the bathtub or something.
Sure.
But she also has pictures of him riding his train. And
Right.
pictures of
And
all
that's-
sorts of shit.
yeah.
This is the only picture I saw.
Yikes.
And, like, 20, like, it's like 30 or 40. It was like, I think it may have been the same. No, there was like 2 or 3 children.
That's not good.
Yeah. Immediately, I was like, kicked him out of my house. I want nothing to do with you.
Did you tell him
Fuck
that you found it?
Yeah. I told him, like, that was like one of those things I wasn't going to pussyfoot around.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't blame you. I would have.
Like, yeah, I want you gone. This is.
What did he say? Like, did he try to defend himself at all, or?
He was like, oh, that's not what it was, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, dude, we're moving anyway, and blah, blah, blah. So, like.
You didn't call the cops or anything?
No, I wasn't going to get that involved. For one, I think it's hard to prove. Because you're right, he could say, oh, this is all what, and like, they probably would have looked in further on him.
Yeah.
And they probably would have found something, but and the point is, like, too, I probably should have, because he's married now, and the girl he's married to had, like, a bunch of little kids, too, and there were some accusations about that later on. Yeah.
See, I probably would have.
By the way, you met this guy. He's came in here before. He has, like, the bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good Christian guy, right?
Yeah, the good Christian guy.
Yeah.
Which is
That's what I thought you were talking about, but I wasn't
so
sure.
many of them, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm a good Christian guy, but
But he's actually Catholic.
I like to fondle children. You know.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a pathway. But it's just one of those things. Like, I'm so careful not to.
I don't
not
get
to
that.
even like click on a picture that looks like she's 18. Like, that's too.
I don't-
That's still too young for me.
I guess I don't understand the appeal behind it. And I don't think I ever, like, what? Like, here's the thing. I love a girl with big tits and a big butt.
Fuck yes.
So, what's the appeal in little kids? I mean, like, not to sound
It
creepy.
literally, like, even just you saying that made my dick, like, shrink. Like, you know
Right.
when you see someone get kicked in the balls?
Yeah.
That reaction?
Yeah.
That's literally what happened. And it wasn't even, like, it was instinctual. I
Right.
was like, oh.
But, like, what? I mean, not to
And I
sound
know what
creepy.
point you're making. Yeah.
Yeah, not to sound creepy. It's just they don't have anything attractive. They're
No,
like 6.
They're innocent. They're sweet little kids.
They, like, if you shave their head, they could be a cancer patient.
Yeah.
Like one of those kids on, like, the Kansas hospital.
And see, it's not about. And that's the thing. Like, you and I look at it just like rape.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really get it. Like, if you go up and you fondle a woman, it's not cool to do that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I get it.
She's hot.
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
I kind of get it. Like, if Kim Kardashian walked by, I would almost think about like running up and just grabbing her ass.
Oh, I would.
Just
for sure.
Yeah, but that's fucking sexual harassment. It's horrible to do. Shouldn't do it. But that's so much different than like.
It's got to be one of those things like you got to like it to understand it. Understand
I
why.
think so. Yeah.
Because I just don't see why. That's weird.
No, I wouldn't even know what to do.
I'm sure the same thing, but
you know what I mean? Like
yeah. And how would you go about that, by the way?
I don't even want to.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't want to go down that.
My
and
dick
I don't
is
wanna,
just shriveling inside.
I don't want to think of the idea, but why? I guess is.
And
like,
you've got to be fucked up.
But you know
that's
what they
someone's
say?
Kid.
They say that there is like something messed up with their brain.
Oh, there's got to be.
Like, they can actually pinpoint.
Oh, really?
Or they're really close to being able to pinpoint.
Really?
Yeah, kind of like the gay gene.
That worries me, though. Because the difference with the gay gene and this, the gay gene, I think that's good that they found it. Because, like, now you can kind of be like, well, okay, obviously there's something hardcore proof feasible here. And that's good. Because, you know, gay people have had their shit. We all know about that. But it worries me because I could see this coming up where, like, okay, this dude has, like, I don't know, the child sex offender gene. You know, if that comes out, like, he's
and they're going after someone before they even do anything.
And he may not ever, even with that gene in his makeup, he may never do anything. And he may not even consider it. Like, I don't know how dominant of a gene it is. I don't know if you have it,
could be completely
you could
recessive.
have it, right, you could have it and not even once consider it. I mean, one of us could have it, but our dicks are shriveling just thinking about this. But if they discover that right from birth, they're going to be like, you should watch this kid, and he's always going to get treated different. And part of me sees it as a good thing, because, like, hey, maybe you're preventing something, but maybe you're ruining this kid's life, because if that gets out...
Here's the thing, though. If it just stays, like, in a, in an in-house institution like the FBI, you know, where they're not telling everybody, probably not even telling the parents, because you think different of your kid. You know, yeah, it would not be a good idea to tell them.
Right.
But you're just kind of watching their internet activity. I think that's okay. I think that's
I'd
fine.
agree with
you
that.
know, and just seeing, like, you know, because it all starts somewhere. I think that's all right. But you're right. I mean, yeah, going full Blade Runner on that kind of situation, not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, it might just end up being like into chicks with dicks. Who knows?
Yeah.
By the way, man, you know. But
I wouldn't, but, you know, whatever.
You know, it's not a bad type of porn to watch, by the way.
You know?
If you're watching a woman with a she-male, I think you get more out of it.
You know what the best part about fucking a chick with a dick is?
Huh.
Sticking your dick in her and reaching around and acting like it went all the way through.
Nice.
But,
you know, I don't know. It's that's just one of those things like that I've heard about, and who knows? We barely have any money for anything, so I doubt they'll even go further with it.
Right. I don't know. It just I don't understand that. Like the rape, and by the way, I say I understand this. I'm not condoning it. I understand that's a power complex.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. I think
maybe
the child thing is.
Yeah, maybe it is. But, I don't know. It just I don't have a lot of respect, if any, for people like that.
No, I have none.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't understand to what end.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't understand the power. Like, I understand, not condone, the rape thing. Like, I understand to make the woman feel shitty, but like to the kid, I don't understand what you're getting from that. What you're how you're hurting that. Like, what that does to you.
What do you think the punishment for child rapists should be?
Castration.
Think so?
I think so. If it's 100% you did it, castration.
Like just chop their dick off entirely, make them live with a catheter bag?
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Because that's one of those things, like, you just can't.
Do you think you should... Okay, so this comes up a lot in my timeline on Facebook. Do you think they should kill him?
No.
See, and they say...
I think it's taking it a little too far.
Well, in this way, they suffer more.
That too.
If you don't kill them, I mean, it's just, boom, it's done. But if you make them live with a bag...
Yeah.
It's more sadistic, but you know what? And, hey, maybe it'll prevent other guys. Like, you know...
I like my dick. Yeah. That's a huge deterrent to anything.
Send them over to ISIS. They're aiming for the dick.
Yeah.
There you go.
It is a huge deterrent. Like, as a man, you just...
I mean, it's kind of a deterrent for me anyway, like the idea of fucking a kid doesn't...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would be even more...
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely...
Yeah. No,
one last thing I want to wrap up with. Going even... I don't know. Probably just staying political. Fucking...
Why not?
We had it was something I meant to bring up a long time ago. We had this argument about... You said that if someone... This is a great point, by the way, that I wish I would have came up with at the time. You said that if a company or a family was super rich now, and they got that way because of slavery, they should be able to keep the money.
I remember.
And I was like, nah, that's bullshit. One of our listeners brought up a really good point. I would love to. And maybe I'm just giving him the credit that he deserves, or she, or, whatever. Said, okay, if they get the money, they should also have to deal with the punishment of slavery. If you get the pros of it, then you should also get the cons.
Okay.
Which is imprisonment. I think that's good. Like, all right, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't have enough time to go into that. I disagree, but...
How? Like,
well, because it all goes back, and I'm kind of on the fence about it now, to be honest, just because of the comment. Because on one hand, he didn't do anything to deserve the money. I don't know.
He's taking the fruits of someone else's labor, and so he's getting the pros. He should also get the...
And I get that. I understand where he or she, whoever made the comment, is coming from about if you get the pros, you have to get the cons.
I think that's it. Yeah.
But jail time for not really doing anything, because you're still not doing anything. Whether you get the money or not, you're not doing anything. You're not enslaving them regardless. So I still kind of have a problem saying, well, yeah, you should get jail time for not enslaving anybody.
My only thing would be, like, watching Where to Invade Next and seeing, like, how the Germans and even people that have migrated to Germany, like Muslims, feel the same way in this culture of how shitty they feel and how they remind themselves every day about what they did to the Jews. Made me think, like, you know what? We need to focus, like, we need to remember what we did more to slaves. Like, just, even I've been one of those people that's like, But I mean, like, yeah, that really opened my eyes to, like, we really do need to learn from the past. And so it really just sticks my conviction even further that if you made money or if you're successful or anything, and honestly, I don't think we are. Like, I don't think there's anyone left.
I still gotta say I disagree to a certain level. Not entirely either way. That's a very good point by whoever brought it up. I mean, I definitely give them that.
Yeah,
but I do still kind of disagree. Just to a certain level, I would have a hard time jailing somebody when, even if they don't deserve the money and they got the money, I still would have a tough time jailing them when they really didn't do anything legally wrong. It's passed down to them. That's my only hesitation with it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you have an opportunity to be like, by taking this money, I am condoning what my forefathers did. And you have that option.
It's true.
Yes or no. I mean, that's kind of it. Like, if you're taking it, then okay, I'm cool with it. That would be my take
get that
on it.
too. That makes sense too.
But that does it for us. We are running way out of time. Thanks a lot, guys. I don't know when we'll see you next. Probably Sunday. Probably.
Yep.
Take care.